Kyle Larson is staring down one of the most intense, high-stakes decisions of his career. Maybe of any modern NASCAR driver's career. He's not just trying to race two legendary events in one day. He's caught between two racing worlds, and NASCAR just made sure the price of stepping out of line is higher than ever. This year, Larson is chasing something rare, something only 4 drivers in history have ever pulled off: the double. Racing the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. 2 radically different cars, 2 very different tracks, 1,100 miles of racing, and 0 room for error. But this isn't just about endurance or logistics anymore. This is about power. It's about control. NASCAR saw what happened last year, and they've decided that if a driver wants to try the double again, they better be ready to bleed for it. Let's rewind for a second. In 2024, Larson attempted the double. It was all coming together until weather derailed everything. Rain delayed the start of the Indy 500, and Larson, stuck at Indianapolis, missed the green flag for the Coke 600 in Charlotte. To his credit, he made it to the track mid-race, but it was too late. Then the unthinkable happened. Rain hit again, cutting the NASCAR race short. Larson's dream ended in the pits. NASCAR, understanding the rarity of the situation, granted him a playoff waiver, allowing him to remain eligible for the Cup Series championship. It was an unprecedented situation, and NASCAR knew it. But apparently, they didn't like the precedent it set, because now they've changed the rules. In 2025, if Larson or any other driver misses a race for non-medical reasons, the waiver comes with strings attached, big ones. Under the new rule, a driver granted a waiver for something like Indy will lose all playoff points earned to date, and they'll be banned from earning any more for the rest of the regular season. Let that sink in. If Larson misses just one race to chase history at Indy, he could go into the playoffs with 0 bonus points, even if he wins multiple races beforehand. That's a near-death sentence in NASCAR's playoff format, where every stage point and bonus matters in the elimination rounds. And make no mistake, this rule wasn't made for just anyone. It was made for him. It's a line drawn in the sand. Larson now has to decide: go all in on Indy and risk nuking his Cup Series title hopes, or stay loyal to NASCAR and walk away from a once-in-a-lifetime shot at motorsport immortality. But it gets trickier. This weekend, the drama starts early. Larson is scheduled to qualify for the Indy 500 with Arrow McLaren, a powerhouse team that could very realistically put him in the Fast Six, Indy's elite final qualifying group that fights for pole. Here's where the conflict comes in. The Fast Six qualifying happens between 6:25 p.m. and 6:55 p.m. on Sunday. The NASCAR All-Star race at North Wilkesboro kicks off at 8 p.m. That gives Larson barely over an hour to get out of his fire suit, board a helicopter, fly between 2 states, and be strapped back in for NASCAR's million-dollar exhibition. If anything runs late, rain, red flag, technical issues, it's over. And if he doesn't show up in time, Hendrick Motorsports can't race. That's because eligibility for the All-Star race is tied to the driver, not the car. Justin Allgaier will practice and qualify the number 5 car, but he's not allowed to race it. And here's the kicker. Hendrick has already pulled the car out of the heat races. That means no matter what, Larson will start the All-Star race from the back of the grid. This isn't theoretical. This is happening, and Larson knows it. When asked about it after day 1 of Indy practice, Larson didn't mince words. "Cup should always be the priority," he said. "It would be awesome to go for pole at Indy, but it's hard to turn down racing for $1 million. Hopefully, we even have that dilemma, because that means we're fast." It's a tough spot. Larson has already won the All-Star race 3 times. One more win, and he joins Jimmy Johnson as the only 4-time winner in NASCAR history. And with $1 million on the line, even an exhibition race has real consequences. But let's be real. The Indianapolis 500 isn't just a race, it's a global monument. A pole at Indy is career-defining. A top 6 start puts Larson in front of a massive international audience, and it solidifies his legacy across 2 disciplines. That's what makes this such a rare and painful choice. One path builds a legend. The other maintains NASCAR's tight grip on its drivers. It's not just Larson who's watching this play out. It's every Cup driver with dirt roots, open-wheel ambitions, or international dreams. NASCAR knows that. And this rule? It's a shot across the bow. It tells every driver in the field, you want to go play somewhere else even for a day? There's a cost. Meanwhile, other series like Formula One have long discouraged their drivers from racing outside the calendar. Fernando Alonso had to fight to get to Indy. Others haven't been as lucky. But NASCAR has now gone a step further, baking the punishment into the point system. So what does Larson do? If the skies are clear and he doesn't make the Fast Six, it's an easy call. He qualifies in Indy, hops on the jet, runs the All-Star race, and sets up for the double next weekend. But if he's fast, if he's sitting in the top 6, suddenly he's forced to choose. Chase the pole at the Indy 500, the most famous pole in racing, or walk away, hop in a jet, and grind it out from the back of the field in a non-points exhibition in Wilkesboro. That's not just a logistical call, that's an emotional one, a legacy one. And Larson's already hinted at his choice. He's going to NASCAR, even with the guaranteed disadvantage of starting from the rear. Even with the allure of Indy right in front of him, he'd rather race for $1 million and stay in the good graces of the team and the series that built him. So here's the question. Is NASCAR protecting its product or limiting its stars? Should Larson be penalized for chasing something only a handful of drivers have ever done? Or is this just part of the game in a tightly regulated championship? Let us know what you think in the comments. Is NASCAR right to clamp down on waivers, or should they encourage drivers to chase greatness, even outside their own walls? And when race day comes, if Larson has to choose, which race would you skip? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. This is just the beginning of what could be one of the most dramatic 2-week stretches in modern motorsports. Whether it's a win, a waiver, or a historic double, Kyle Larson's about to make headlines, one way or another.